Well, okay. So I was looking around, poking around Unreal. I'm currently sitting on Unreal version 12.4, I believe. The newest release. It was released like, I don't know, within the past week. Last time that I did anything because I had to update the version. And apparently in Unreal 4.12, they released Sequencer, which is their successor to Matinee and all that kind of events, and is the new hotness. And so basically, what I found when I screwed around with it enough is um, I can. I found this by looking around under cinematics and sequencers and stuff. I found a create level sequence player, which I figure would be, might be able to help me out. And although this does not accept a level sequence actor, I can set it to my level sequence actor, and it will create a player of some kind, and then that can be plugged into the play sequence item. And so now, after everything's compiled, I can play, enter the volume, and it will play the animation. So there you have it. Because it's a level sequence, first I have to create a player and then play it. There you go. That seems rather unintuitive, but hey, I'm not the one in charge here. And so now I got to figure out how to play it in reverse so that when I leave the volume, the door will close. And I can probably copy these. I would imagine I'll probably be doing something similar for closing the whole thing. But I'll need to adjust the settings somehow. So let's see here. Make level sequence playback settings. Okay. And let's have a negative playback rate. So the playback rate will be set to -1. And compile everything. Let's see what happens. Thingy goes in. Thingy comes out. And there we have it. After much wailing and gnashing and much anger and frustration, I can now create a door which automatically opens and closes using Sequencer. Of course, a little bit more work has to go into it to ensure that it doesn't stop in the middle of an animation and, do that where it snaps back and forth. And I can probably fix that by just having it so that when you leave the volume, it adjusts the settings so that the settings start playing in reverse. And I got plenty of time now that I've kind of screwed up the last stream, so let's go do that. Let's see here. Game, cinematic, sequence player. Set player rates. And we'll set the player rate to -1. And then for now, get rid of these. I cannot link to multiple events? This is awful. Awful, awful, truly awful. I don't think that's complicated enough, but let's see what happens. Experimentation. Alright, so programming by guesswork, which is the best way of programming. It looks like the animation doesn't actually completely die. So by setting it to -1, it reaches the end of its animation, and then it doesn't die or get destroyed or anything. So when it gets set to -1, then it starts playing in reverse. And apparently the same creation sequence exists. So let's see what happens if I tie this to level creation. Because I only want to call that particular event to create that sequence once. Ew. Yeah. Is there an on level loaded invisible? It was on UDK is level open and ready. It would let's see here. So I'm going to say that when the level starts, I want to create that event. And when I enter the volume, I want to play. When I exit the volume, I also want to play, in case the door happened to be open. And I'll play it negative there. And I'll create a positive here. And let's see what that does. Whoops. Target must have a connection. Ooh, that is not an origin point. Create player. Get game instance. Get. No, that is to open a game. I need an event. Let's see if I can find a Unreal 4 Level loaded event on level loaded. Nope. This should be under event dispatchers. Blueprint node. Event dispatchers. It's not what I want at all. On level loaded. Cannot find. Still a lot of learning that I need to do. And we go for blueprint level loaded. On level loaded. Documentation, which has literally one line. You know what? Doesn't even matter. So I only want to create it once. Or do I? So let's see what happens if I create it again. And these should do the same thing. I want this to go here, actually, because this is my forward playing animation. This is my backwards playing animation. Just break those links. And let's see what happens now. Because now I'm creating two different players, so let's see if it jumps between the two and snaps. No, because it doesn't work at all that way. Very interesting. But anyways, set it positive, set it negative, it plays backwards. until it gets to the end and it stops. But that's how you do that. I'm sure that I could probably attach this to an event that happens when the level is fully loaded, but I'm having trouble finding that event, and that would probably make things easier because then I could just take this out, literally just have it level loaded, create the sequence, and then take this, attach it to wherever I want to attach it to, and I won't have to worry about creating it or double creating it or having this actually run multiple times, which I'm sure is not good for memory in some way. Still didn't figure out how to do the collision for the door, unfortunately. I'm not sure what's up with the collision, though, because it has a collision volume. I've looked at it. Or collision mesh. The default should be to block all. Even if it's not, I can set it to block all. And it doesn't actually block all. So I don't know if that has something to do with my little dummy here. He might not have... well, I guess he must have collision if he hits the door frame. But I don't know what's up with the door. And you see there, I'm creating the new player sequence when I re-enter the volume. And so the door will snap shut if it's in the middle of its backwards animation. Because it's recreating the animation and starting it from the beginning again. Which sucks. Which is why I would want to have, on level load, create it, and then have everything else just affect it from there, all referencing to the same animation. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the collision. Somebody needs to work on that door. But anyway, that's my little failed attempt to make a door. Hopefully, you could fast forward through all the frustration and just get to the good parts. And you can figure out how to get the event. I will continue to look into that. Hopefully by next time I will have more expertise in this, because level scripting is just a huge part of making a level. And I guess I'll see y'all later then.